We should not be worried about solo leveling, and it is not overrated. In fact, I think that... Oh look, Gigak already made a video on solo leveling.
Anime fans are fucking losers.
As I was saying before that rude interruption, solo leveling is not overrated. In fact, I think it deserves the praise it's getting, and that the anime so far is improving upon the points it lacks in. By lacking, of course, I mean the animation could never replicate the art of the source material. Somehow this was put out weekly and fully colored, and unfortunately one of the illustrators, Sung Rak Jung, passed away at the young age of 37 due to a chronic hemorrhage. And I'm sure that the work could not have been easy on him, and I just want to thank you, Dubu, for the amazing work you were able to put out. As for the anime, it can't replicate the art, but it's doing a really good job of it, and the direction of the episodes so far have been just as hype as I remember. I also forgot to mention that Hiroyuki Sawano is on the soundtrack. Yes, the same one from AOT. I mean, we could not have asked for better to animate this, and the world of solo leveling is just beginning.
I don't wanna die. Yeah, we all felt that way. You were making excuses for your own selfishness. That gratitude was as empty as my wallet, leaving to a genuine piece of trash to use me and throw me away for his benefit. I've got a family too. I wanted to make it home alive too. I wish I had another kid.
Ever since it got announced to be an anime, solo leveling has got an immense amount of hate, and it's not surprising. People have been hyping this work up since it was released. I mean, the hype was so crazy it got me to read, and if you look at this channel, you could see reading is not very apparent. It had amazing artwork and it was a power fantasy. It also had a badass MC who was essentially a gamer, which is some wild propaganda because that is not what happens when you play a game. But it's not surprising to see people fall in love with it. But what's actually tough is to describe why solo leveling is as good as it is. Because it's not a plot heavy story, it does lack a good amount of depth on the side characters, yet it was a story that myself and a lot of other people could not stop reading. Now of course you can say it's because of the art, or because of how easy it is to binge with the layout, or that I'm a loser who needs to self-insert into an MC of a power fantasy. To all of those besides the last one, if you want to believe that, then go right ahead. But what initially hooked me on this story is how real of the character Sung Jin-woo felt. And I know how much real has been thrown around and that it's a meme at this point, but Sung Jin-woo since the beginning feels like a grounded MC. One of my biggest issues with arguably the best isekai to come out recently is the fact that the MC is undoubtedly a loser. And look, I don't use that word lightly. As much as I'd like to be a low tier god in my daily life, I have too much empathy for people's situations. Someone could be going through something or whatever it is. I'm not one to judge others' way of life. But I will damn sure judge somebody who's canonically a pervert even after he gets a second life to be a completely different person. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I can't help but see this character as a way to target any real-life counterpart to make them feel better about themselves. And the fact that there's people on Reddit who try to defend him being a pedo just proves my point. And to that, I will be a low-tier god.
You should kill yourself now.
Now the reason I'm talking about all of this is because you have the exact opposite on the side of Sung Jin-woo. He represents anyone born into unlucky circumstances but is still hardworking. The fact that he was an E-rank fighter was something he couldn't change no matter how much he tried. And by chance he got an opportunity, but it wasn't a handout. It was a challenge in which he rose up to the occasion. And as both the anime and the manhwa show, he was much more than deserving of this opportunity. He put everyone around him before himself, and it's also the reason that he became a hunter in the first place. It was also the reason he was the last person in that hopeless cave. And as he claimed on his deathbed, everything about it was unfair. Why did he have to be the one to stay behind? He had people to get back to just like the rest of them. And he's also a hunter, but because he was an E rank, people saw him as lesser. Yet even at that point earlier on in the story, when he's just getting called a loser, he's not spiteful or annoying about it. He gets his situation and deals with it, to the point of death where he can't help but think about it because that's the only thing that separates him from the others. but luckily the chance arises. Sung Jin-woo takes his chances and keeps working at it, and as simple as it seemed, they found ways to put him in many life or death situations which he continued to fight out of. Now as he gets stronger, it does become an RPG of a story, and Sung Jin-woo plays this just like I played any RPG, completing all the side quests to become as powerful as possible before the main quest. This dude really is a gamer. And at one point, solo leveling does just become a Crowd City ad, but it still hits. Are there issues? Of course there are. Every work has its flaws. As I said, the depth of the side characters are pretty lacking, and at times the story falls into just fighting. But that's really why the story shines on its own, because it knows what it does best and doesn't try to be anything greater. To anyone claiming it to be overrated or think that we should be worried about where the future of the anime goes, I hate to break it to you, but you're looking for something that solo leveling is not. As someone who is an Attack on Titan stan, not everything needs to be Attack on Titan. Sometimes we like these power fantasies where we have a based MC who just continues to get stronger. It doesn't try to be something it's not, and Sung Jin-woo is such a good main character that it's easy to be invested in the world around him. A world that is actually much bigger than just one dungeon, but full of hunters from around the world. It has clear influences and uses those aspects so well to a point that it feels original. And it's not hard to see why so many people have taken a liking to this over the millions of other fantasies out there. Because solo leveling is not something we need to worry about, and it is not overrated. I have strong faith that this anime will continue to be great, and I cannot wait to see more of it. You know what I just realized? Sung Jin-woo chose to be an E-rank hunter over working a 9 to 5. That's real as fuck.